Hello, and thanks for joining us on this Sunday Millennial. I am your friend and host, Dave, the Millennial moderator. As always, we are joined by our entertainment editor, CJ.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Good. Special guest returning to the show, Shannon. How are you?
Hello, I'm glad to be here.
We're glad that you're here.
Yeah?
We actually have a guest now.
Yeah. It's been some time. I think it's really probably been like a whole year, right? Almost.
About?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember when that last one was.
It was in the summer. I mean, we're not quite in the summer yet, but we're close.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming by. It took a whole year.
Yeah.
What have you been doing in that year?
Basically growing my business more and more. I did get a job at FedEx for like a week and then I quit.
Hey, gotta pay the bills.
It was morning shift from like 1 a.m. to like 9 in the morning. I could not do that. Could not switch. But I bought a van and I'm a aspiring van dweller now. So I'm converting my van to a little mobile home. I got the floor all done, subfloor, put linoleum floors in it. I have the walls insulated, all that jazz. And the next is to put the paneling on the walls. So that's been taking up a lot of my time, but
then eventually kids will go inside.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
That's the topic for today.
No. Well, it is actually not how you think, but no. I did see the van. The van looks really cool, though. I definitely, and we talked about this too. I definitely want to do a podcast on van life because that was something that seemed to really catch a lot of attention before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And I really wonder if that's something that I wonder if it died or if it picked up during the pandemic. You know what I mean?
Kind of both, because people realized being a van dweller during the pandemic, a lot of people were out of the country that they lived in and they had to go home.
Yeah.
So their traveling kind of got stopped abruptly and
even within states, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a period of the pandemic where the whole country was on lockdown and you could only go out if you were an essential worker.
Yeah.
So
a lot of those people I follow a lot of van lifers on YouTube and they documented like that whole period of time, and a lot of them just had to buckle down, find a place to go. Some people went to their parents' house and like quarantined in their basement, just stayed there. So it really depended where you were at that time, and if you were around where you actually lived at.
Right. Yeah. We need to get you back on for that because I'd really like to talk about that. I think that's,
oh my God,
that's
I would
interesting.
love to.
It's fascinating. Probably by the next year you'll have been traveling and living in your van.
Hey, that's up to you guys. So
yeah. Well, no.
Well, for the next podcast. So
yeah, absolutely. With the business though, how's that been going?
Actually, fantastic. Since the new year started, I really picked up things and have been putting a lot more energy into it. The end of 2020, I mean, everybody was sick of being quarantined and all that, and it just kind of wore on me. So I kind of took a break and was trying to do it more so just for the money rather than the enjoyment out of it. So I kind of lost interest in it for a little bit. So I decided to just completely take a break from it and then start again in the new year so I could like do some more planning and different items I wanted to have set up for different months of the year. So now I have like a plan of what I'm doing for this whole year. Well, up until like June or July. And then I'll figure out the rest from there. Yeah. So, but since the new year, I've been putting a lot more energy into it than I've been in the previous year. So it's been booming. I actually just got a big order for a business around here, the Big Catch. My friend works there. Yeah. So I just dyed a bunch of shirts for the employees to wear.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
They're batching right now at home. So I'll be washing them out soon.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Shout out to the Big Catch as well.
Oh my God.
Small business. Can you give us, I'm just interested, first of all, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And obviously I love your work.
Oh yeah. These are your shirts right here.
Yeah, right there. Thank you.
I was wondering why you had those shirts.
Yeah.
Mine, yeah. I got them right here. I got my...
Show them to the audience.
Yeah, the sleeveless here. I have a few just regular tees, but these are sleeveless.
Per request.
David,
Per request, yeah. I like sleeveless shirts, yeah.
There's a surcharge for sleeveless.
Not that I'm like gigantic or anything, but I just like sleeveless shirts. So, I'm weird. I like long sleeves or sleeveless. Like I don't like
I feel that.
shirts with
Sleeves.
the little sleeves. Yeah.
I sweat a lot, so I feel that.
Yeah. Here's the other one too. Yeah, I got two, so I like them both.
Yeah, I did them different techniques. That one's an ice dye, so you can tell the way
I like that one.
the dyes
Very
on
good.
there looks a little different.
Sorry,
than
I'm
the
a
other
little,
one.
I'm a little choked up. That's very good.
Oh, no doubt. That's right. No, they look really great though. And I said to you, because you were trying to like get them to me, and I said, oh, you'll get them to me eventually, and I got them today.
Yeah,
so.
I actually left my house without them. Turned around 5 minutes later, and I was like, gotta get those.
And you were
shirts.
still really early,
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Really.
Yeah, so obviously I love your products, and you've given us shirts too. CJ, she's given you some, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And
last
Dom-
time I brought one. For
Yeah, I
everybody,
think you
Yeah, I
brought
think-
one for all
yeah.
of us, yeah, which was awesome. And we definitely, made a big thing about that. But people need to see your work because it's really awesome.
Yeah.
I just have a question for you though, as far as like, and maybe you haven't thought this far yet, but like, what about like long-term plans? Like, what is something you envision, like a visionary plan for your business?
Well, see, that's the thing with tie-dyes. You could keep growing the size of the products that you do. I've joined a few groups on Facebook and stuff, and the level that I thought I was on is nowhere near the level that I'm actually on. Like, there is levels beyond what I even imagined in tie-dye. So you can keep growing the size of the things that you do. People do, like, I don't even know how long, like 20 feet long tapestries, and sell them for like thousands of dollars.
No kidding.
So you could really just keep growing and expanding and going.
Well, what about just about supply too?
Yeah.
Like, if you just had like an assembly line or hired a few employees, you can even just increase your supply and make more money that way,
Yeah.
correct?
See, that's the hard part. I don't ever really want to get into, unless it's someone to help me wash them out, because that's the part that takes a wear on your wrist, is just washing the shirts out. That takes a lengthy time. Maybe I'd hire someone to do that for me and then wash them for me. So then all I can focus on is the dyeing of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
The real craft,
that's
right?
something to think of, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, when I plan to travel on the road, I still plan to tie-dye too and paint. I make paintings too, but it's primarily tie-dyes. Usually only do paintings if it's like a custom, someone has an idea for it.
Yeah.
But so on the road, I plan to build a whole tie-dye station in the van. So then those will obviously be more time will be put into each one, so they'll be worth a little bit more money, and that'll help fund my travels and my gas and all that.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
So that's like the next 5 years. That's like what my plan is in
I
life.
see. Yeah. Travel.
Yeah, travel
Yeah.
and see where I want to someday settle down in. Find a place where I feel at home at.
Yeah. Your van. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
but
can
where
feel
your
at home
van
anywhere.
is,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that Metallica song, Wherever I May Roam. Where I lay my head down is home.
Yeah. And it's
Is
true. You
anywhere,
can
really.
make anywhere your home. You can be in the middle of the woods. And if you're in your van, it's considered home.
Yeah, don't listen to what Chris Farley said in that SNL skit, living in a van down by the river. That's all the rage now.
Literally.
Yeah. It's funny too you said
I
about
bet
your paintings too, because I was wanting to ask you and I always forget. I've been writing a book for a long time, but I have nothing to like artistically represent it,
Oh,
like
okay.
I was wondering maybe
The
we
cover.
can work together to get just pictures for the book. Just see, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like in a
okay.
book.
Illustrations throughout it,
Yeah.
not the cover of it.
Yeah. Well, maybe I don't know. See, this is the thing, because it's not a novel. It's like a novella. Right now, I think it's at like 25,000 words.
Okay.
And most novels are at least 40,000 words. They don't go by page count because books obviously come in different.
Yeah.
The fonts and stuff are different, so they
Sizes,
don't go by
yeah.
page count. They go by word count. And novels, I think, are about 40,000 plus. So mine's like a little over half that. It's called a novella. So
Are you
I don't-
done it, or did you finish it? Or
I
you
just keep
still-
editing it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
finished it. I keep on editing it. It's one of those things. It's like you finish it, but like you don't want to let it go. You don't want to put it
Yeah.
out there because you just want to keep editing it, editing it,
Exactly.
editing it. Yeah. So I constantly just keep revising it and adding and taking away and adding
Yeah.
and taking away.
Well, that's interesting.
but I have no illustration for it. I would at least like a cover for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can work on that.
Future
but-
plans?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, anything else? What about just I guess last thing I'll ask you just about the year of COVID. How did you spend it?
Honestly, it feels weird saying it, but that was honestly one of the best years. I
What?
don't know why. For me personally, in my personal life, I had a blast. I mean,
Wow.
I was still going out every day. If I wanted to go do something, if I wanted to go on an adventure, I went out and did it. I stayed away from people. I spent a lot of time in nature. I was that person in the beginning, but I spent a lot of time outside, and it kind of forced me to go out in nature, and it also forced me to stay home and kind of make a safe space for myself at home rather than just running around all the time. So, and it really helped me focus on tie-dyeing and doing all that and figuring
Well, you
out.
said you took a break too, right?
Yeah, towards the end. The beginning when COVID first hit and all the summer months up until then, it really gave me the time to think ahead and think about if this was a good plan, if I should keep going with it. Is this possible to completely live off of for my 5-year plan that I wanted to do with
Right.
the van? So, and that's why I did take that break, because I realized I need to regroup and refresh and take a second to just chill out and then start up again at top tip shape.
So it sounds like it was really productive for you, really
Yeah.
good, refreshing, and recharged your batteries and what your plans are. And,
Yeah.
and it didn't impede. I think what you're saying is it didn't impede things that you wanted to do.
Yeah, and it kind of forced everybody to spend time with their family, spend time with their pets that they might have been neglecting for a good bit for a job that
Poor
they
pets.
worked all the time. But I don't know, because it brought my family together. I don't know about you guys, but my family's kind of all over the place. So it kind of forced us to just stay together and appreciate one another. And I don't know. I every time I say that to someone, I feel kind of weird or bad saying it, but it was a good year for me.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, why would you feel bad? I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
You set up your family together. You were able to focus on yourself, your pets, your dreams, your goals. I mean, that's how many of us can say that? I mean, honestly, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I guess it feels weird because it was kind of painful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They lost their jobs or
Just considering how many people's families.
people died.
Yeah.
So I guess in that way, it's kind of, but still, I mean, you got to speak your own, your own life
Just
and how
my
it affected you.
observations, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, I'm so glad that, so glad we have you on here now. That's great. Yeah. I'm
you.
glad the year went well for you, and I'm glad the business is going well.
Yeah,
So
thank
hopefully
you.
it booms.
I know. We're in a boom right now. There's always ups and downs in life, but
Yeah.
gotta just roll with it.
Yeah. The American market. She's a
Yes.
businesswoman. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Well, we had some interesting news today, or this week, I should say.
Breaking news.
It's not breaking news. No, I don't even know what had happened.
broke.
Maybe. I don't know what had happened, but internationally there was a woman who decided to have 9 children at one time.
I don't think she
I don't-
decided
yeah, I
to.
She definitely decided to.
No.
She's like, I want 9 children.
No.
Give me the children. Yeah, well, you're right. Actually, they thought that she was supposed to have 7, and then lo and behold, I just want to be that person who's like, oh my God, there's 2 more in here.
Like,
Because she had
made
a-
a mistake.
She had a C-section. I mean, because
Yeah,
I couldn't
we all know
imagine-
why.
I could
No.
imagine passing through 9 children through a
One right after another.
your pee hole. Oh my God, yeah. I just want to hear your thoughts on that, everyone. Just what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. How do you take care of 9 kids at one time?
Good question.
I don't
like,
know.
if
And
you
they
have
were
one-
all healthy and alive and
Yeah.
doing well. So
Yeah.
she has to take care of all
Yeah.
of them.
It's probably hard to take care of one kid, but then you have to worry about times 9 more of them. Yeah, and we're gonna house all these kids.
Anyway.
We're gonna house all these kids.
Well, that's the
Uh,
problem. She's from Mali. She's Malayan, and she had the kids in Morocco because I guess they had better means to do what they needed to do. But yeah, she's from Mali, yeah, and poor country, and there was talks about that too in the news. If you read a lot of articles, they talked about how that.
Yeah,
how,
I think I saw that.
Yeah, the health, their public health isn't very good. But
Maybe COVID. Yeah.
well, that too, yeah, of course. But it's like, good question. Yeah, how do you take care of?
I don't know. I wonder if her
Assuming she has no
location-
others too, because she's 25.
She's only 25.
She's 25, but she could have had kids before that. I mean, she could have. I don't know. how many
I don't even want to know what that's like.
Yeah.
I'm 25 and I have 14 children.
Oh my God.
That's
We'll
crazy.
find out in like 3 months from now
Yeah.
that she's expecting again.
Oh my
It's
god.
like, oh, I'm doing fine. Just might have another 5 more.
I wonder if her location had anything to do with the fact of her having 9 children, because I just read an article and it said something about, I think it was like 89% of the births over there are triplets and above.
What?
And I don't know if that happens that much over here in the U.S.
No, I thought that's a rare thing to have twins or triplets or quadruplets.
Yeah.
And
Apparently
Last,
not
last
over
thing I
there.
know was Kate plus 8 that had 8.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, I hate that. It's funny how we glorify that too.
Yeah.
I like that was.
I even know the whole story
fascinating
about
to me.
that, but
I don't know either. But like, it was a whole big thing, and then she was like a reality star, and he was bad or something, and she, I don't know. It's just all this
Divorce,
stuff.
yeah.
I don't know.
It's just interesting, and it's funny too because this Sunday's Mother's Day too. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great that we should honor our mothers, but like a thing like that, it was just so weird, and like all that attention, what that does to you. So I don't know about that, but I thought it was a rare thing too to have.
Yeah. And I'm surprised all the babies are healthy and they actually survived that whole thing, because that's a lot in one. I'd like to see a picture of how big she was too, because they knew that there was at least 7 in there.
Listen, I have 2 questions,
Okay.
2 wonderings. Yeah, how big was she? Because hello, like I've seen women who are pregnant with one child and they look like a bomb went off in their stomach.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah. What did she look like, and how did she move? How does she even function? That's question number 1. All that. My second question is a little more, is a little grosser, but it's a legit question. How does she feed these children? You know,
Good point.
she has 2 breastises. So, how do you
I
feed?
think it's just breasts.
Yeah.
How do you?
I don't think.
How do you feed 9 children with
Take
2
turns. All right,
with
next
2
2.
nips? 2 nips. No, and I mean, this is a serious question because, like, like dogs and cats and other animals, like pigs, they'll have like 6
Multiple
nips.
nipples?
Yeah, 6 nips or something like that, or 8 nips. She has 2. So how does this work? It's a legit question.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
and
I'm
sure.
sure people are like, you're sick. Why'd you ask that?
Well, no.
But it's a serious
if you don't
question.
think about it, like I don't think she would feed all her kids at the
She
same
must.
time.
It's also the question of the production of the milk. Her body has to be producing 9 times as normal.
from?
9 times as much as a normal mother does for 9 babies, which I mean, your body gets used to. Like as much as you feed, your body produces more. But still.
I'm assuming they don't have
pumping oil. You know what I mean? Like constantly, like.
I don't
maybe
know.
she's not breastfeeding. We don't know.
Well, that was the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure if there was an expert on the show here, they'd probably be like, well, they'll probably just formula feed all of them. So I don't know, but it was.
Seems like you're the expert.
Question. I don't. I'm asking. I'm legitimately asking because I don't know. It's like, how is this possible? Yeah.
I didn't even hear about this till today.
Oh yeah. No, it was a big thing in the news because
Like earlier this week.
Yeah. Now, like it's funny because, our former president isn't, the president anymore. So now it's like we need to fill the news with like other stuff. Yeah.
That's
Which
not-
actually he did make news because they banned him from Facebook. Still.
I was gonna.
Facebook,
they-
Twitter,
they-
and Facebook.
Yeah. They like. I think he's banned for life from Twitter. I think he can never go back on Twitter. But Facebook, they made a decision to suspend him for another 6 months. CJ.
Did you see the photo of Jimmy Carter and Joe Biden? Like how tiny they are.
I know, they're like dolls.
Like,
I didn't see it.
I saw it. It's so weird.
Look it up. Jimmy
wish
Carter.
I wish I
Biden's
had
and
my-
the Carter's photo. It looks photoshopped. It's really weird. And everyone was
I
obsessed
wish I
with it.
had my computer plugged in because I could plug it in and have it like shown on the screen.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure most people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The one where they're in the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
Like sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're looking at it. I can see it. Yeah.
Wow.
You just zoom in on it and just see how like they look.
Yeah,
they look
look
tiny. They look like dolls.
Yeah, like they're set up.
I've seen another one where someone
Like a mannequin.
Well, no, someone photoshopped it where the Bidens are smaller and the Carters are bigger, and it's just like I don't know. Yeah, that caught the news too, though. It's just
I'm surprised
just
nobody
thought
photoshopped Bernie in there. That
with
picture of
the-
Bernie.
yeah, that would have been funny. Yeah. Anyway,
Revive that meme.
that was used way too much.
Yeah, that was bad.
way too much.
In the time span of like a freaking second, it was all over.
I know,
In
yeah.
so many different forms. It was funny.
I wish I could have it for this show. Just like something ridiculous happens and we could just be like,
Which
It's like
I
wildfire.
love about, which is the thing I love about this country, because before that, was it like a week before that, or 2 weeks before that, they like stormed the Capitol and like
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
a full on riot insurrection.
And they're like, this.
and
Bernie
it's
Sanders,
like,
this is
all of a sudden it's
hilarious.
like, oh yeah, this is meme. It's
Yeah.
an amazing country we live in. But speaking of which, our sports, big sports news this week. With
Where's our
this,
sportscaster?
I don't know.
Where's our sportscaster?
Who knows? He's probably scooping ice cream.
Okay.
He probably is. There was a big fight in hockey.
Really?
Yeah, like a huge brawl.
Huge.
Not just like, huge. Not with just like two people. It was like this crazy scene. I think I don't know how many
It was
penalty
the
minutes. It was like 70 penalty
I think it
minutes
was
or something
Rangers
like
and
that.
Caps,
Yeah.
and it was like I think 110 in the first period. I think. I believe. I'm not sure. I think it's
No.
110 in the first period.
Can you explain to us, as a hockey nut, and I watch playoff hockey, so I'm not a hockey nut, and I imagine you're probably not either.
No, sir.
Okay.
You could just say hockey fan. You want to say hockey nut.
Well, hockey man. Can you explain to us like what the fighting is for the lay person?
I mean, I think they've always had fighting in the league, but I think they obviously didn't have like penalties. I think even like right when they started. So like basically if you got in a fight, it was just like, okay, basically they just try to stop it. I guess that'd be it. They didn't have like a penalty box in like to the 50s or 60s or something like that. So like
People just straight up murder
and when they did, they had like that like the people that committed the penalty, they were like sitting next to each other.
Oh, really?
Like right next, like not in different cages, like in the same, like they're in the same room, like same box, so they could still fight.
Different cages.
So they made that rule where they separate them. But I don't know when they obviously did like 10-minute misconduct. If like, if you do something horrendous, like
Right.
like smash a guy's face into the glass, like you're going to be kicked out of the game.
We'll watch videos of it because it's just interesting. That
Yeah,
they
it's definitely
it's definitely all it is. This is what I love about hockey fights. I don't know if you've seen any, but
Nope.
look them up because they're fascinating. They're on skates. Remember, they're skating.
the balance.
Like full blown fist fights.
Yeah.
All it is really like
Jersey pulling
the shirt and trying to punch. Like
sometime-
there's no leg kicks. It's not like MMA. You know what I mean, or karate.
Sometimes they're
But,
like, yeah, let's take our helmets off.
Well, yeah, or like they'll rip the helmet off, but it's a lot of like shirt pulling and punching.
Yeah.
Like it's just an interesting way to fight, I just think.
Yeah.
And they're on skates. They're skating and they're kicking the shit out of each other. It's why I like hockey. I mean, I love it. I was just gonna ask too with you guys. Do you think it enhances the sport? Do you think like a big fight like this would
Oh my
make you want
God.
to watch?
I don't even watch it, but I'm sure it does. 'Cause that's
Yeah, if you're
attention.
in the crowd, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the one time I went to a Hershey game and the guy got knocked out cold,
Oh my God.
and like it took like half an hour for him to like. I mean, I felt bad for the guy, but it took a while for just them to be like, yeah, we're gonna start the third period, but it's gonna be a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting because it's the only sport that I know of.
Really-
Other
when you really-
than fighting, of
Really-
course, but like
yeah.
the only sport where the
really
object
kinda
is
get
not to
away-
kick the shit out of each other.
You kind of get
That
away
there
with
is
it
full on
too.
fighting. Yeah, because you watch like basketball or baseball or even
Oh,
football.
you'd be
which is-
fine.
Football's
You'd be
very
fine.
violent. No, but they always separate. Like if there's a fight going on,
Oh,
the
yeah.
teams will come together and
But-
like separate. And
but-
refs will separate. This one, it's like, yeah,
But-
all right. The ref's
They're
like,
just
okay,
like, go
yeah,
for it,
whatever.
get it out again.
Yeah, he pissed you
The,
off.
the
all right.
fact is, they don't get fined necessarily unless it's something that like you like seriously like injured them like on
Yeah.
purpose.
Well, but the point is, despite the fines and despite the penalties, because there's fighting for other sports too. Like if you're fighting in football, like you can get thrown out, you can get ejected.
yeah.
So there's real consequences. But the fact of the matter is, though, that in hockey, like it's just a thing. Like you just do it. Like everyone knows.
definitely-
It's like the ref knows, the coaches know, the players know. It's like, all right, they're gonna do it. Whatever.
Yeah, they definitely have. If you drop your gloves, basically like you'll get it automatic like 5 minutes. I think 5-minute misconduct. So if some guy drops his gloves, like let's say I drop my gloves and I'm looking at you like I want to fight you, I would get a penalty. But if you did, it'll be the offset. Basically, if I do, you're.
I see.
That's like the thing like that shows like you're ready to fight. I guess that's like the sign.
Interesting.
I guess.
So do they take people out of the game for getting in fights, or?
I think necessarily it might be depending on if two people fight. Yeah, I don't know if they're out of the game, but I think they'll get like a 10-minute or something.
Mhm.
But I never like really knew the depths of like getting into fights. Because none really happen now because a lot happened like way back in the 70s.
Yeah, it was more prevalent, obviously. Yeah, but it's just something. Well, and that's why I think this got so much attention because it was like a big. It wasn't like again, it wasn't just like a little squabble. Like it was like.
Yeah, 110 minutes in one period. That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. And by the way, the Capitals did win anyway. Yeah.
All that for nothing.
Well, also one last thing about it too. It's just interesting because it was like a grudge from a previous match, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was something like two players.
Tom Wilson like hit. I think the other guy. I think his name's Buchnevich. Is his last name. And I guess he boarded him or something. I guess he thought like it was like on purpose.
They had beef.
Yeah, beef. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Wilson.
But it carried into this game, which is hilarious.
Tom Wilson's a dirty player, so.
Was Tom Wilson for the
Caps?
Yeah. Go Flyers.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of that. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about there was some interesting entertainment news this week. It was announced that Conan O'Brien is going to finish his career on his late night show, which is on TBS now. He's been on a few, obviously. NBC. Yeah, it was NBC before he was on TBS. He had his late night show. But 30 years in the business, it's kind of a sad. And
he's not done.
No, he's not done. No, he's going to leave.
He's going to HBO Max.
Well, he's going to leave his show on TBS, I think, in June, the end of
Yeah.
June, I think. So he's not leaving now, but it's been announced that he's leaving. And then, he's doing something on HBO Max. So I just wanted to get your thoughts. If you're Conan fans, what you think? Sad?
I don't really watch TV, so.
On to the next person.
You know who Conan O'Brien is, though, right?
No, I really don't.
Oh, my God.
Ginger.
Just watch
Ginger.
just go on YouTube and watch some, like type in, Conan O'Brien funniest moments. He's a funny guy. He's hilarious.
I don't even know what he looks
He's
like.
He's really tall.
Like
He's
goofy little hair.
goofy looking, skinny.
If I see
He's got
him, I
red
might
hair.
know him.
He's so funny. You would like him. He has a good sense of humor.
What's his name?
Conan O'Brien.
Conan?
Conan, yeah. Team Coco.
It's a shame he didn't get the Tonight Show. It's
Okay.
a real shame.
I know who he is.
Okay, good.
It's a real shame because I really think that
He
he
did
would've-
for a little while,
Yeah,
though.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he's like, yeah, my name's Jay Leno. I'm going to take it back. Make it chin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sad he didn't.
This is my job. This is
Yeah.
my job. It's
Yeah.
my.
Sounds like you. So kind of felt bad for him for that. But then I also think that he made a good decision going to HBO Max because I think a lot of people, obviously like streaming services now, so
Yeah.
maybe he'll get more attention because I don't. Last time I watched something on TBS, it was like some like comedy movie or something, but
Yeah.
I don't know who younger people watch TBS.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV that much, so
Neither did I, but I know what he's going to what? HBO?
HBO Max, yeah.
Yeah, I know that's more popular.
Popular,
than,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah. It's interesting because, as cable became prevalent, kind of in our maybe more my generation. You guys are
Z,
whatever, yeah. I'm a millennial. I think more there was a distance between network TV, Fox, CBS, ABC,
yeah.
PBS, and younger people were watching cable. They were getting cable and watching cable, and then
Yeah.
eventually it was the older people that kind of caught on to cable, and all they watched was cable. And now the younger generation, which even mine too, now it's streaming, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And less and less and less people are watching network and cable TV. So I think it is good for him. And he must have, he had a thing that he did, which was really good. I don't know. I know CJ is not, but I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. People who watch the show know that. Do you like Game of Thrones?
I never got into it. I watched the first episode and I couldn't.
Way too complicated. But he was a big fan of the show too. And at the end of the season, after 8 seasons, I think this happened like a year or two ago. They had like a big post-series celebration or whatever, and they had all the stars there and the film crew and directors and writers. And he was the host. He was the host for the show. And it's good. It was just good to see his monologue too, because he talked about how he went to Ireland because he's obviously from Ireland and had this cool story.
Really?
Yeah, but it was really funny. It just if you watch that little bit he has in the beginning, he just opens up the show. But then he kind of went through with they brought the stars up and he did that. So, but that was on HBO. So I wonder if that's how he kind of got
They probably got a lot of attention. He was like,
Yeah.
"Hmm,
Then
we
probably,
should
can
do
we get a
this."
deal here?
Yeah.
Can we do something with this? You know,
Mhm.
we had a good thing going, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. I wonder what the show will be like too. I didn't look at too much about what it's supposed to be, but that was kind of my next question though for you guys. Do you think that like late night shows are kind of outdated?
I was just thinking, like, okay, I don't know if he's gonna have a Tonight Show, but obviously, like, everything's streamed, so like they won't come out at a certain time. I don't know if people like nothing's like live on streaming, right?
I
Streaming
don't think
services.
so. But to answer your question, I think they are kind of outdated. I mean, I know my mother
Yeah.
watches them every freaking night, and she's always like, "Shannon, come watch this," and I'm like, "Okay, that's cool, awesome." And then I just
That's what I'm doing.
But
What does she like? Does she like Jimmy Fallon?
yeah, that's who she usually
Okay.
calls me in to see is Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon. But
Some of his stuff is good.
Yeah, some of his stuff's-
bits are pretty good.
she's like, "Shannon, this is Saturday Night Live. This stuff's been going on forever." I'm like, "Well, I'm not into it, so I'm
Yeah.
sorry."
Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about it, CJ? Late night shows, late night talk shows.
I don't really stay up late, but I the whole concept of it I like, but I know our generation's kind of like past that.
Yeah. I mean, in the 90s, when
Sadly.
they had, like, I mean, all those skits that are on YouTube now.
Oh yeah.
What was it, Mad TV or something?
Oh yeah.
With Stewart and
Yeah.
that one with Darrell in the movie theater. Like, all those were
Yeah.
hilarious. I wish that was, like, still on TV now, but...
Yeah, it's just different. Yeah, SNL's different, and there's no Mad TV anymore, obviously. But In Living Color was one of them too. Yeah, and then all the late night shows too, like late night talk shows during the week, because those were like weekend, like SNL was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not the same. And the thing that I never liked about, and I used to I used to watch them. Like I used to like watching Conan late night as a kid, because I like to see celebrities, you know, being interviewed and stuff, and the skits that they would do. But when I think about it, the thing I don't like about it that's outmoded about it is that it's so short. Like, I don't get it. They'll bring someone on who's in a new movie or a new artist that's singing or whatever. They'll bring them on for the show for the interview, and the interview is seriously like 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like dumb questions too.
But
they might say something like about the time that they were in Belfast and they, you know, they whatever got arrested or something like that. They might tell like one interesting story, but like it's 5 minutes. Like it's not even.
And the thing is, like, do you ever see the one where Bradley Cooper and Jimmy Fallon can't stop laughing?
No.
Oh my God, I've watched that. It's hilarious. But like basically they're like talking, and then like they talk about Bradley Cooper is like playing the Elephant Man, you know, the Elephant Man, like deformed human being, and like he messed up something, and they just couldn't stop laughing. But they're like they had to keep doing retakes. So it's like I don't think they do retakes. So I don't think the conversations are pretty genuine to say.
Natural.
Yeah, like this is like natural. And, but I really don't think that's a good point, Dave. I like how you put that in, saying like they're just too short.
Yeah.
5 minutes for sure. Like
Just.
Could be better.
I think like I liked it when I was a kid, but now that I think about it, I'm like, this is just stupid. Yeah, and I just wonder. I think finally to wrap it up, I wonder what the show will be like, because HBO already has their own kind of like late night talk show, which is format kind of, which is with Bill Maher, Real Time with Bill Maher, which I watched, big fan of. It's really strictly political though. But he brings a lot of people on, and he has his own format. It's an hour long. It's better because they have panels and they talk for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he'll bring a guest on. They'll talk for more than 5 minutes. Usually it's like 10 minutes or so that he'll have guests on. He has a monologue like all late night shows do. So it's kind of that format. So, and they also have John Oliver's show too, last week with John Oliver. His is different though. He has no guests, and it's just him. And he kind of it's his show's only a half hour. So I'm wondering how they're going to bring his show and what it'll be.
Yeah. If it'll be something new or
Yeah.
something like he's used to.
Will it be exactly what he's doing now
just
on that show, or will it be different? I don't know.
I'm sure they'll figure out how to conform to people's wants and needs more with shows, like what people are used to seeing and what they want to see in a new show.
Yeah. The best part about it is that HBO Max doesn't have like the stupid cable rules and stuff. Like you could say the F word.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
You can say
forgot about
whatever you
Forgot.
want. You can say whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that might be another reason why he wanted to switch to that.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. He doesn't seem like a foul
No,
mouthed
he
guy
doesn't
though.
seem.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like him and Jimmy Fallon, like I don't see Jimmy Fallon like saying the F word. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't seem like that guy. But the guests can say what they want too.
Yeah.
So like nothing's bleeped out.
Mm-hmm. Just more so the audience that's watching that rather than TV
Yeah.
Mhm.
on a late night,
Yeah.
like my mom.
Oh! Yeah. No, yeah, it'll be interesting though. I can't wait to see it. His last show is June 24th, I believe. So I might even check that out just to see his last show.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
True
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah. Well, that about wraps it up here tonight. Are there any final thoughts? Our guest.
Final thoughts. I guess I should give myself some self promo real quick.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
But last time I was on here, if you watched that, I was going under the name of Spirits More Free with my business. I have changed that to Tie-Dyed Spirits because I wanted to be able to reach, if people were to search on something and they search Tie-Dyed Spirits would come up because that's in the name. So on Instagram, it's Tie-Dyed Spirits. I haven't been using my website, so don't look for that. If you want to get in contact with me, Tie-Dyed Spirits on Instagram is the best way. That's usually where I do all my business through. And yeah, I'm taking custom orders currently. So if you're interested in any specific, like David's cutoff shirts or anything specific, I could do that for you. Just got to reach out to me.
Absolutely. We will reach out to you for sure. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. CJ, do you have a final thought?
Do not have a final thought. I was trying to think. I couldn't really think of anything. I don't know. Final thoughts has just been. What has happened to final thoughts?
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
What, to wrap this up and to segment into the next podcast in the future,
Oh.
what is something that you want to see on the next podcast or something that you want to talk about or do for the next episode?
Me?
Yes.
Personally?
Both of you.
Okay, so whatever I say or what he says we have to do.
No, just ideas.
Okay, you said for the next podcast.
Manifestation.
I was like, okay, so whatever I say we have to do. Oh. I don't know. I kind of want to go. I mean, I like the studio. Maybe we can do something somewhere else. Like just. I remember we said.
On the streets.
Yeah, on the streets. I don't know. Good.
Yeah.
That'd
Just
be
do like a
funny.
walking podcast.
Yeah, with random people, like ask them questions.
Yeah.
No, that would be a really good idea.
Yeah.
Well,
Have a topic of certain
know,
questions.
the change my mind ones get huge views.
But that's political. I'm not saying we
Well,
can't
and-
do we
and
can't
very
do that, but
controversial,
like
too.
yeah. And Steven Crowder obviously has
Yeah.
a better personality than us two combined. So
whoa, hold up. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't
Well,
say that.
I know what you're trying to say. I like the format, but yeah.
No,
like maybe,
I'm not.
Like maybe
hold
have
on.
people like, hey, this is Sunny Miller. We're talking about one thing.
No.
Change
I
our
know.
minds.
Well, I know.
We just stole his idea.
No, I'm not saying that. What I was trying to say was that his format though is very provocative. It's very enticing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It gets people attention and
Yeah,
like,
that's-
yeah, you know, he'll say like, he'll say like, America's not a racist country. Yeah, you know what? I gotta think it is a racist country. Yeah. I'll change your mind. Yeah, and then they get up there and look like an idiot.
And then
but-
and then he has like some people are like so shy and they're like, I just really think it's like
I know.
and he's like, yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, what's your name? What's your name?
Maggie, I'm your friend.
I'm a friend. You.
I love when people like he did something. The one he did was like there's only two genders.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was good because he had this. It was on a college campus, and someone
Those are
talked
the
to him.
best ones when they're on a college campus.
The thing is when he's on a college campus, I think what it shows is just how uninformed college kids
Yep.
are. Honestly, rarely is there a college person that comes on to talk to him, and they really like go tit for tat with him.
I also
They
think
just sound like idiots.
I also think too like they don't want to hear the other side as well.
Exactly.
No.
Like
Well, that's the point I was going to make because the one he did with There's Only Two Genders, he was talking to someone who identifies as queer in some way. And at the very end, and she actually, I thought, did pretty good against him, like the arguments. And then at the very end, he like was like very nice, like thank you, like, and went to shake her his hand, and she's like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like,
That's like-
I'm like,
I saw there's this
Oh.
guy that does them on a college campus about veganism. And when I was
Yeah.
transitioning or trying to I was on the other side, and I was like,
Yeah.
how am I going to get my protein? How am I going to do this?
Yeah.
It's just impossible for anybody to go vegan. I started watching his videos, and he would just have good conversations, and like you said, like shake their hand at the end and say, thanks, that was a great talk.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were wonderful. Like, there was so much information because you get the normal person's opinion and like their views on things, and then you get the person who's studied it for years and their feedback on it. And it's like, it's a good flow of conversation back and forth. And those are like ultimately what got me to stop eating meat. So it's a good thing.
Change
exactly.
Yeah.
There was no way for me to justify it any longer. So it's interesting though about the two genders one. I kind of want to watch that because
That one was a good one.
I got into a debacle with my friend too, and kind of came down to I just wasn't as educated on the topic as I thought I was. So
It's they're interesting, I think. You know, actually, regardless of if you agree with him or not, because then it kind of gives you'll understand his side, obviously, and if you're not on his side, it might even strengthen your own side.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
His are good. I like that. But I think, going forward, it'd be nice to do something in public. I think that would be really cool, especially with the weather getting nicer.
Exactly. And even involving the public, you get to branch out. You get people to get more views. You get to say, hey, we're doing this. Right? You could see yourself on here. Come watch it. And they'll show their friends, hey, look, I was on this podcast. And you get more views. So
yeah.
Good.
I thought about that with like religious topics.
That'd be great, honestly.
God is not dead. Change my mind.
Yeah. I don't think you'll find it. I don't think you'll find any of those people.
Jesus is fully divine and fully human. I don't think
you find anyone of those people around here.
No, I don't know.
Some straight from out of town.
I do think going forward though that would be really cool, like for the next episode or episodes, but also just kind of like good debates, like good conversations with people. I think sometimes I feel like we are on this show and like it's kind of just like
we're kidding around.
No, but like topics are just
controversial.
Like, yeah, I know.
Yes,
there's no
controversial things are what gets people interested, gets people angry, and that's a good thing sometimes because it gets you views and it gets people.
I just don't want death threats. I don't want.
Yeah, no. You don't need to go that far.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Well, but that's the scary thing about this world is like, it's like, I'm afraid to say anything.
Oh my God. Even when I was watching your last podcast with the COVID, I was like, wow, they're actually being this open about this. They're actually saying these things. I was kind of surprised.
Like the last one we just did?
Yeah. If you haven't seen that, go watch it.
Yeah.
About the masks and everything like that. And I was like, you guys should have brought me on. I would have went off on this topic.
Yeah, that's why I invited her because she was like,
Yeah.
But
I know. Yeah, I'd like to get more controversial and stuff because I've said it a million times on this show. It's like, I hate that we have to limit ourselves in our speech to tweets and messages and Facebook posts. Like, I want to have a conversation, like a real conversation, you know, and also just have the authenticity to say what you feel and say what you mean, but also receive grace too. Like if you make a mistake or maybe you said something that you didn't say, like that's the problem too with people because they'll post something, they'll tweet something, they'll message something, and then it's like that epitomizes everything they are.
Yeah.
And if it's kind of like off the cuff or a little too colorful, then it's like, well, you're an evil person.
Yeah.
You need to be canceled and erased from this planet.
a little too colorful.
Yeah. Whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be. You say something and it's like people attack you and they mob you and they want you off deplatforming and cancel culture. All that all goes into it. So I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I like how raw podcasts are because you can really. A person could talk forever about a topic and they get feedback from other people that are on the show and they're confronted with questions. So it's not just like they say one thing, like you said, like a tweet, and then everybody attacks you for it. Like you say one thing and everybody questions you right away.
Deal with it. Yeah.
And you got to deal with the consequences or anything else that you said. So.
And then it's a mess. It's a mess to pick up, and you have to explain yourself and.
Yeah.
You're already like destroyed by a million people. Yeah. I don't like that. Yeah. I like this a lot better. So I like to get more controversial, of course, whatever that means. But yet to be seen, yet to air.
Yeah.
Gotta get that from corporate.
Yeah.
That's the first mention of that in a while.
Yeah. God. Yeah. They won't be writing me
Higher
checks
ups.
anymore. Yeah. I think that was a really good final thought, though, actually.
Yeah.
Really, that was a good one. I want to wrap it up, too, with my final thought, though. As I said, it is Mother's Day this weekend, this Sunday. Please thank your moms for all they do, birthing you into this world and dealing with your shit. And I'm going to clean it up. So just say thank you. Take them out to dinner. Do something. Give them a card. Send them some flowers.
Give them a hug.
Give them a hug.
We don't hug people enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You should be allowed to hug your mom, for God's sakes. I know that's controversial or not, but
I think it is.
I don't know. But say you love them. We love our mother. I'm sure you love yours.
I love my mother.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, love you, Mom. So thanks for joining us. Stay tuned, stay happy, and we'll see you later.
Adios.